the National Wrestling Alliance.
And welcome once again to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Charlie Platt along with Ric Stewart. And Rick, an action-packed hour today.
It's got to be one of the most exciting we've had in the last couple of weeks, Charlie. Right off the bat, the new state of Alabama champion, Tom Jones, in action.
And we see today the return of Brad Armstrong to Southeastern Championship Wrestling.
He's in a tough match against young Robert Gibson and his father, also making ring action. The Bullet wrestling today on television as well.
Plus, Mr. Olympia and Austin Idol as tag team partners.
They'll take on the Executioner and Norman Frederick Charles III. An excellent television main event. You make your plans now to stay with us for this next hour.
Speaking of the Executioner and Norman Frederick Charles III, also we'll show the personality profile, and coming out to join us now, Rick.
Make a little room for the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol and his trainer, the Mongolian Stomper. And Charlie, first off, Austin, again, congratulations on you winning the tournament, and I know it's gung-ho for you, right?
Well, it certainly is, Rick, and believe you me, man, I've never trained this intensely in my entire life, and Charlie, right now I just feel like I'm really on top of the world right now. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I've never looked forward to anything as much as I've looked forward to wrestling Flair again.
We have some interesting videotape maybe you'd like to tell us about.
Not too long ago, Austin and the Mongolian Stomper were nice enough to allow me and the cameras of Southeastern Wrestling into their training camp, where they were working with one of the finest young wrestlers in the world today, and I'm sure you'll be the first to agree, fiery young Robert Gibson. So let's go to Mobile, Alabama's Expo Hall and take a look as Austin Idol gets ready for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Hi, this is Ric Stewart. We're on location in Mobile, Alabama's Expo Hall, where the Mongolian Stomper and the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol have been nice enough to let us get in on some of the training that they're doing in preparation for meeting the world's heavyweight wrestling champion, Ric Flair. And we picked this particular time to take a look at the training regimen of Austin Idol, through already the basics of wrestling, and now, from what I understand, Stomper, offensive and defensive maneuvers, concentrating around the figure-4 leg lock, which, of course, is Austin Idol's bread and butter hold, and over the years has enabled him to capture many, many championship belts throughout the world of professional wrestling. The figure-4 leg lock also the pet hold of the world's heavyweight wrestling champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair. Robert Gibson now spinning a good standing switch from Idol, rides to the canvas, and Gibson trying to switch out eventually to the ropes, and notice the Mongolian Stomper closely watching the activity of both men and always on hand to interject his own ideas, as I believe he's doing right now, into the second part of the training routine of the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol along with the Mongolian Stomper. Offensive and defensive maneuverings, Idol blocking an atomic drop, sweeping right to the legs of Gibson, and notice the Mongolian Stomper now controlling this action, having Idol break before any undue pressure was exerted on the legs of one Robert Gibson. The Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol, along with his trainer, the Mongolian Stomper, and Robert Gibson. Gibson hooking his man, going for the vertical suplex, another favorite maneuver of the world's champion. And Idol showing good airborne mobility, not only blocks the suplex, but turns it, interestingly enough. And Austin Idol, Robert Gibson now. Idol spinning behind his man, and good chain wrestling from Austin Idol. However, apparently the Mongolian Stomper has seen something in the attack of Austin Idol, not exactly to his liking. Gibson and Idol back onto their feet again under the close scrutiny of the Mongolian Stomper. And Idol working his way, notice total contact, chain wrestling, lets go of the body only for a brief instant to get that left hand in the figure-4 leg lock. Another unique aspect in this match is that the world's heavyweight wrestling champion, Ric Flair's favorite maneuver just happens to be the figure-4 leg lock, as well as Austin Idol, and a beautiful counter by Idol. World-class competitors like Ric Flair, and Idol knows this, and Idol is very, very watchful at all times. Now, Austin Idol behind his man with the full Nelson, expertly kicked off by Robert Gibson, and Gibson spins around for that spinning toe hold, which is the prelude to the figure-4. Robert Gibson and Austin Idol now in a match situation, contemplating things that could occur in Austin's World Championship match. Gibson dropping to the canvas, and Idol catching himself, catches the off-balance Gibson to the canvas, grapevines to the leg, and straight away into the figure 4 leg lock.
Austin, this is it, man. You're in the greatest condition of your life. We've gone through everything, defense, offense. We've trained every phase of it. This is it. We've got to thank this young man here for helping us out, man. You've done a great job. Thank you, Robert. Now, hey, you know this is a big one. You beat the guy before. This is the big one. You're in the peak of condition. You're mentally right. You've done it before, man. You've done it before. You've been there before. Remember? Yeah. Remember before? Remember? Yeah. Remember? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Yeah.
Right now I have with me the only man in the history of professional wrestling ever to hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. He's also the man who developed the figure 4 leg grapevine and the atomic knee drop. And Buddy, obviously the figure 4 leg grapevine has become perhaps one of the most devastating and most successful holds in professional wrestling.
Well, I believe in both of them because I invented that hold, and it's been very good to me. But if you look back to the history of it, by golly, Jack Briscoe used it and became champion, and Eddie Graham was a superb wrestler. He used it. His son, Mike Graham, used it. There's many other wrestlers have used it, and everyone have been very, very successful. But I would like to say this. Austin Idol, who I've worked out with and is in superior shape, and I do believe stands to be the next world's champion if he gets that chance, does know this hold and knows it thoroughly. And I do know that if he puts it on someone, he will get the job done.
High praise indeed from one of the living legends in professional wrestling, former NWA and WWF champion, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. And again, Austin, thank you, and thank you, Stomper, for allowing us into your training regimen, and the best of luck to you.
Austin, you know, earlier this week, in fact, this morning, I had a chance. I got a phone call from the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. Last week we had the comments of Flair, and he was irate about having to meet you again in the squared circle for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. If you remember last week's comments, he was very upset about the situation. However, today he was more of an arrogant Flair that I've heard in the past, and that is a good way to describe the man, arrogant. And the thing he keyed on the phone conversation is something that I just thought would pass along to you, and the fact was that he has found a cure for idolmania. You have it, I don't know exactly what he was referring to.
Well, you know, knowing Ric Flair as well as I do, I guess anybody else does, you know, we all know Ric Flair's a real flamboyant individual, and I would imagine
yes,
by him
indeed.
saying that he's found a cure for idolmania is probably some type of psychological warfare. But Charlie, believe you me and Rick, man, I have trained religiously for this match right now, and Ric Flair is not going to psych me out, and I don't care what he says, nothing's going to psych me out. And as far as what he meant, as far as he has a cure for idolmania, I don't know what he meant.
Well, I know exactly what he meant. The Mongolian Stomper attacking Austin Idol from behind. Oh, Jesus. Idol, Stomper just slamming Austin Idol with the chair. Jesus Christ. Get somebody out here, man. Let's see to Austin. Come here. Get somebody out of this wrestling ring. I don't know what to say, man. We'll be right back.